So I actually don't play a lot of early access games, but as we all know, 2024 has been an absolute banger for games like Palworld and Enshrouded, burrowing their way into our little gamer hearts like a starving earwig, with those eyebrow mites secretly crawling all over your face. Are you itching yet? Anyway, recently while I was scrolling through my never-ending Steam library of games I've bought but never played, I sorted them by recently added to the library, and I noticed Sons of the Forest was at the beginning of my list. Now, I found this odd considering a friend and I already did an entire playthrough and completed Sons of the Forest.
I can't swim, Ira. Cody, we gotta go back.
So naturally, I looked into the game to find out what exactly I was missing here, and behold, Sons of the Forest had a major update, adding a new choice alternate ending, 5 new cutscenes, voice acting, animals, armor, sickness, story times, NPCs, a stashable glider. A stashable glider? 2 years later, a stashable glider? They added a stashable glider after we struggled dragging that damn thing around? See, this is exactly the shit. Excuse me. You get the point. They added an incredible amount of things to the game, which is nice and all, and I love a good game update, but I have one major flaw in my character. In a world of ever-increasing media, and as a kid to now, I was just never one to replay a game or rewatch a show once I know the ending. For me, it just takes all the mystery out, obviously, but at least with some games there isn't actually an ending, or if it's a game with customization and character builds, you can try out a new playstyle. But with static islands such as Enshrouded or Sons of the Forest, with a relatively short story mode, I just can't convince myself to play it again for the plethora of add-ons. This is why I'm not a fan of early access games, because no matter how many more weapons you add or places to see, I already know the conclusion to the key moments, and if you add the super mega awesome Dawnbreaker with kung fu action grip to the game, I've already beat it with items that are less compelling. This sucks because with games like Palworld and Enshrouded due for their major updates, I'm hesitant to even play the game because hey, there are a billion games out there, and I don't want to be 80% into the game just to find out something crucial that's only accessible or relevant from 10% to 50% of the game. And this is very similar to the microtransaction and DLC problem we have with developers, except it's free, of course. Now, I don't mean to sound like an ungrateful blue-haired stepchild, but nowadays it just seems like devs are damned if they do, damned if they don't, and we consumers can get anything except a finished game. Now of course I don't mind the game fixes or DLC providing extra areas and gear, but for example, one thing getting added to Enshrouded for its next update is townsfolk NPCs, and other general but major quality of life things, but I don't want to get too far in the game because I don't know what's coming and I don't want to miss out on an experience like first walking into a town and seeing certain characters for the very first time, or backtracking my entire journey to pick up quests or items that are meant to be grabbed the first time around. I know early access is a great way for developers to raise money to get the rest of their game completed, but if things don't occur in a timely manner, it seems to be at the cost of their game losing its momentum or losing a large portion of its player base due to everyone completing what is essentially a 70% of the game demo. With DLCs in games like Pokemon or Skyrim, you almost always get new quests, gear, or creatures that add to the story, which points to the difference between a full release update and a DLC. A DLC adds to the existing content to further the experience and story, while these early access updates sometimes add so much to the existing game, it makes the hours you've put in kind of obsolete. Unless you're committed to the game and its community, I guess. It's kind of like a big old case of the FOMOs, but you have to go back and repeat so much work that it makes it not worth the cost and time. Still, I appreciate the work of all the devs. I just wish gaming found a better balance between cost-effective game improvement for both sides and made it so games were more complete so we didn't have to pay for barely completed work or miss out on major things for simply enjoying the game so much the first time around. Let me know in the comments what you think about this kind of topic. Much love, as always. Be safe out there.